As our nation gets ready to mark 20 years since the September 11th attacks, families of some of the victims say the full story behind the attacks hasn't been revealed.
And they're upset with President Biden that he hasn't released records that might help them understand more about what happened. Fox 13's Craig Patrick investigates the ongoing claims that the Saudi government sponsored those attacks.
As video of the smoking towers broadcast around the world, Bruce Eagleson called his family to let them know he had escaped.
And he's told my brother Kyle that he was going to help with the evacuation efforts. And that was his last known whereabouts, was that he was entering the stairwell to go back up. That's when the building fell. And we were never able to recover him. We never had any DNA or any kind of parts.
Brett Eagleson was 15 years old when terrorists killed his dad and nearly 3,000 others. Now he's leading a group of survivors and victims' loved ones demanding to know who all did it. We know who planned it and who carried it out. But evidence suggests there were others who funded and helped coordinate the attacks. And our government is keeping the records that may reveal who they are a secret.
I want to know who killed my dad, and I think we deserve the right to know who killed my dad and thousands of other families. But I think Americans also deserve to know the truth.
Zacharias Moussaoui, who admitted to helping plan the attacks, testified that high-ranking Saudi officials bankrolled the plot. Former Senator Bob Graham co-chaired the 9/11 investigation in Congress. He said more than 25,000 pages of findings are classified because they reveal the government of Saudi Arabia supported and funded the attacks. And a former FBI agent who led September 11th investigations in California named Stephen Moore also implicated the Saudi government.
And he said in a sworn affidavit, were it not for the Saudi support network that was in place prior to the arrivals of the hijackers, 9/11 would have had a 0% chance of success.
In 2016, the Obama administration released a sliver of records, 28 pages, with much of the contents blacked out. The lines that weren't blacked out did draw connections between Saudi agents and the terrorists after they flew to America and trained for the attacks.
The 28 pages is the tip of the iceberg. There was a secret FBI investigation called Operation Encore that followed up on all the leads that the 9/11 Commission failed to do.
But Presidents Bush, Obama, and Trump kept most of the evidence and findings classified. Graham said they don't want us to know the Saudi government is responsible for September 11th.
We provide them with security, and they supply us with a guaranteed source of petroleum.
Graham said the Saudi royals wanted to appease bin Laden to keep his al-Qaeda forces from overthrowing them, as the Taliban just overthrew the Afghan government. Graham said the Saudis therefore supported terrorist efforts abroad to protect the throne from threats from within. And he said 4 presidents have kept it secret because they do not want to disrupt oil flow and key military positions we have in the kingdom that we use to fight the terrorists. And releasing irrefutable evidence the Saudis sponsored the September 11th attacks could break our alliance. And as flawed and two-faced as it may be, that could destabilize the Saudi government and allow a group like al-Qaeda, ISIS, or the Taliban to take over, just as we saw in Afghanistan.
And they've gone to such lengths as invoking what's known as the state secrets principle to say, yes, we have all the investigative files on Saudi Arabia that would bring you closure. And even their justification for not giving it to us has been classified.
Last year, as a candidate, President Biden sent Brett Eagleson and other September 11th families a letter stating that he would pursue transparency and disclosure.
How did you interpret candidate Biden's words several months ago?
So we interpreted that letter to mean, well, geez, if Joe Biden gets elected president, here we go. We have a savior. We have someone who's going to stand up and do the right thing.
Last week, President Biden ordered a declassification review to determine which records might be released. That's a process that could take months, and there are no guarantees. But in doing this, Brett Eagleson said President Biden has created a bond of trust with the 9/11 community. They hope this is a genuine step forward and that they'll be closely watching to make sure the administration follows through. Craig Patrick, Fox 13 News.
To this day, the Saudi government continues to deny any involvement or responsibility for the September 11th attacks.